What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. So I recently been getting a whole bunch of videos that, man, it is really sad and really sentimental. I'm not gonna front, man. I try to hold back my tears when I see these videos, but I really think it's informative. It's elderly people discussing about the financial mistakes and the regrets that they made in the past. And this video, it was from Midlife Anti-Crisis. Okay, please take a time to subscribe to her channel. Her journey is really interesting. She talks about everything she experiences in life and the regrets that she had in the past. But in this one, specifically about the 7 financial mistakes that she made. I seen some of the video, and I'm gonna tell you guys, it's really, really interesting what she said. And this is stuff that we all need to pay attention to because we do not want to fall victim to mistakes that she made and now the life that she's living with all those regrets. But guys, before I get there, please take the time to hit the like and subscribe. Please, it's like a digital tip. Think of it that way. Let me get straight to the video.
Just thought I'd talk to you about some of the money mistakes that I've made. I've been thinking about this for a bit. I have been talking about money quite a bit, and I just wanted to tell you about some of the mistakes that I've made over my lifetime. A lot of these are going to sound familiar because a lot of these are mistakes that most people make when they're young. So first, credit cards right out of college. I think a lot of people fall into this trap. As soon as you graduate from college, you start getting credit card offers in the mail.
That is the case. It seems like as soon as you go to college, I'm not sure if they still do this. So if there's any college students out there, please drop a comment down below, let me know. But I remember in college, as soon as you step on campus, there's like a bunch of credit cards being offered to you. And you get a free cup or a free t-shirt, and that crap works. People will sign up to credit cards just for the free item. That's it. And they say, I'm gonna get this credit card. I'm not gonna use it. All I want is this free cup and this free shirt. And that's where it starts. Because when you're down and out, you wanna hang out because we know in college, we're broke. We got no money. You're down and out, you use that credit card and say, well, it's a responsible thing to do. I need to increase my credit score. So this is a good way to practice, building credit. But you're not paying attention to the APR. You're not paying attention to nothing at all. You're just jumping in there, getting a credit card, you don't care about the rate, nothing whatsoever, because all you wanted was just the free shirt and whatnot, right? So with that being said, it starts there and it continues. It just snowballs to the point, guys, where you leave in college now with credit card debt, student loan debt, and that's just dragging you. To some people, as wild as it is, it doesn't stop until you're elderly, right? In her case, she ain't saying the video, but I've seen plenty of people, and I grew up with plenty of people that their parents are messing around with credit card debt, right? At a late age in life, trying to retire with credit card debt. It's never a good thing whatsoever.
Next mistake. Early on in my career, I did not take advantage of my 401k. Nobody in my family ever invested. I don't remember hearing anybody talk about a 401k. I didn't even know what it was. And honestly, this was before the internet, if you can believe that, Gen X. I started my adult life without the internet. And I didn't, so it was harder to learn about things like that back then. So early in my career, I did not take advantage of my 401k match from my company. I did not contribute. I listened to some person that said, it's just playing the stock market and it's risky. And if you put it in 401k, then you don't have any control over what happens to it. I listened to that crap and I did not contribute.
The same crap is being spewed today. People are saying 401k is a waste, put money into real estate. It's the same crap that people are saying. But guys, understand this. The younger you are, the less you need to invest to become a multi-millionaire by the time you retire, right? It's not even, let me rephrase that. It's not become a multi-millionaire by the time you retire only because you're 401k, right? To me, that's a mistake that people make. They think that when someone says that, that means you do nothing but just put money in a retirement account and that's it. It doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean that at all. Listen, you could accumulate money on the side by increasing your income on your job, start your own business, you get into real estate, whatever it is you want to do. But if you're working 9 to 5, put money into your 401k. That way in the future, you can use that money to supplement your retirement. Right? You can still have a great career, be an entrepreneur, make all this money, but at the same time, you want to make sure you take care of your 401k. Do not listen to those people who tell you to neglect it. And listen, I'm sorry, Dave Ramsey says, Don't put money, don't get the match, put nothing into your 401k until you pay your debt off. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't. The number one thing you gotta do, the number one thing you definitely need to do is to get that match. That's 100% return, okay? Get that match and be responsible and pay off your debt as well, right? But do not neglect the 401k. For some people, that's all they got. You know, some people, like I said, they say 401ks is the worst thing, but for some people it's not because that's all they got. Some people just want to work for the rest of their life. They like it. They like it. Some people love it. That's all they do. But you need to put money into your 401k account or Roth IRA account. You just need to invest. That's it, right? That's it. Your money needs to work for you. And the earlier you put the money into these accounts, it will work and grow to a point you reach a certain age. You have so much money, man, that you won't even be stressed out whatsoever. So her saying that, it looks like, unfortunately she didn't do that. But the good thing about it is, guys, you can start anytime. So if you're behind, say if you're in your 40s, start now, okay? Your 20s is the best time, but who cares? Start now and put money in your 401k account, please.
Buying a new car, that's a mistake. It's a mistake for pretty much anybody, unless you just have a lot of money to burn and you're just looking at it as a luxury item and you don't mind throwing the money away. So that's pretty much what it is. Most people need a car unless you live in a city with good public transportation, but everybody does not need a new car. And I see a lot of people that buy cars that cost a whole year's salary, and that is not smart.
That is all facts. She's 100% right. So many people are just getting so many cars. I've seen somewhere that the average car payment is $1,000. $1,000 for a car payment. And she's right. Some people are getting $50,000, $60,000 car when they're making like $30,000 a year or $40,000 a year, and they're justified by saying they need it or it makes them feel safe. Hell with that, man. That is complete nonsense. You do not need to spend so much money on a car because, guys, you heard me say it, you're gonna hear me say it now. You heard everyone say it. There's so many YouTube videos out there, and the number one thing people say is what? A car is the number one wealth killer. It's a depreciating asset, guys. And don't get me wrong, I know it's hard because you need a car, and it sucks that, whatever you pay for it, it's not gonna hold value. You're gonna lose. No matter what, you're gonna lose. Depends on how much you're gonna lose, but you're gonna lose, so I get it. But you wanna get a car, at least, guys, that's paid off, or you put a big down payment down, and if you are gonna finance it, make sure you have a good rate, and don't get it more than 3 years, okay? But once you pay off your first car, after that, because these cars last forever, man. So once you pay off your first car, hold on to it, save up for your next car. That way you're never, ever gonna finance again, and you can just buy a car.
Mistake number 4, marrying someone with bad credit and no financial literacy. I did that knowingly on my 3rd marriage, even though I knew better by then. I did it anyway because I thought I could teach him and change him. Bad. Bad idea. And if you have financial goals and you're a practical person like I am, you really need to be talking about that stuff up front and discussing it. And if you have completely different views on money than the person you're about to marry, at some point you're going to fight about it.
That is the case, and that is true, and you see that time and time again. Listen, I get it. You're in love. This person is awesome. But if the person is not sharing the same, expectation about financially in your future, if the person is just thinking debt is not an issue, if they just act like they could just buy whatever they want and you put it on credit cards and who cares and pay the monthly payment, YOLO, it's not gonna work, man. As much as people say marriage is a holy matrimony. How do you say that word? I don't know how to say it. A holy matrimony. There you go. Holy matrimony. I get that. It's a holy matrimony. But in the same time, it's a business. It's a business. It's a business. Right? Taxes are cheaper. Right? You get all these write-offs. You have a kid, you get child tax write-off. You get all these benefits of being married in the United States. As simple as that. Right? But at the same time, one person's debt and another person's debt unites together and is one debt. You could be as smart financially, just not messing with debt, doing everything the right way. But if this person aside is running up credit card debt and is running it up, is your debt as well, right? That's why financial infidelity is so high. So high because someone is always embarrassed to talk about it, or someone says, it's my money, I could do what I want. And that's okay. If your marriage is like that, that's okay. But understand, when you're married and you have this independent lifestyle, even though you're not independent, you're married, it leads to a lot of issues financially, especially if you're not aligned with your goals.
That leads me to mistake number 5. I made a bad business investment. It was during that marriage. I invested in a coffee shop. I bought a coffee shop. It was local. It was going out of business. It was for sale. And I thought it would be fun. Who doesn't? Anybody, especially who loves coffee, who doesn't dream of owning a coffee shop? Well, let me tell you, the dream and the reality are 2 different things.
The coffee shop. I've always wanted to open a coffee shop. It's because, listen, I love coffee. It's true what you're saying. You love coffee. You know, I love going to a coffee shop. So relaxing. It's so nice. But how much money can you make actually from selling coffee? Right? Like, you need to have a lot of traffic in order to be able to sell a good amount of coffee to make good money. Right? I know Graham Stephan, I believe he did a video recently saying he shut down his coffee business. Right? He was big on that, the coffee, big into the coffee business, and he shut it down. I can't remember the exact reason why, but it shut down, right? It's one of those things that you're passionate about, right? Because so many things you're passionate about, but if it doesn't bring in money, it doesn't bring in money. And right now, it's hard to compete with Starbucks, right? It's easy to compete with Dunkin' Donuts because Dunkin' Donuts is trash. Yeah, I said it. Dunkin' Donuts coffee is trash, but you're not going to compete with Starbucks. You're just not going to compete with Starbucks. Now, some local coffee shops, they do well, but not all do. Now, listen, I know what she's saying, though, that it was a bad thing. Not really, though. I don't consider it a bad thing. It was a failed business, but she learned so much from it, but she could continue and do a different business. Try something else. You always learn something. You always learn something. I always feel like just because things didn't work out doesn't mean that, like, you are a failure and you can't do, anything in the business world because it sucked and you regret it. No, it was a mistake. You pivot, you learn from it, and you continue moving on. That's how I feel about it. And also, I think the worst business decision she did so far was marry the wrong guy.
Next money mistake that I made was waiting too long to invest in real estate. I did a lot of studying on it and analyzing deals, and I did it for years and years because I was terrified to make that first step and I was terrified to make a mistake. So I was stuck in analysis paralysis for years. I was a single mom and I was really risk averse. I was afraid of losing money, making a mistake, and I was afraid of looking like a fool, and I was afraid people would think that I didn't know what I was doing, or that somehow I also had that imposter syndrome and I didn't think I was the kind of person that should be investing in real estate because I didn't grow up in a family with money, blah, 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 blah. And I waited way too long. And real estate investing is the only reason that I have the things I have now, because I took my W-2 income and instead of blowing it on shopping, which I don't really like anyway, I saved and invested in real estate. And that's why I'm able to take this year away from a full-time job to figure out what to do next.
Now, I won't necessarily say that's a financial mistake. In hindsight, it looks like a mistake, right? We always think about when you buy a home 20, 30 years ago, that was awesome. But say she would have bought this in 2008, right? Who knows what kind of situation she'll be in now, right? We don't know that. So to me, when it comes to real estate, it is always a risk. To me, she timed it right. She was ready. Right? Everyone is so quick to rush to get into real estate, but it might not be for you, right? And for her, she got all the information she needed before she made that decision, which is what we all should do. We all shouldn't just jump into things just because someone else is telling us to do it. You got to make the right decision. There's people right now that have the parents and the friends getting homes and their parents telling them, get a house, get a house, get a house. Okay, they get a house and they end up house poor, right? And they end up house poor. I did a video recently where someone said they had 22 units, like a rental property, and they regretted it, right? So simply just getting in real estate, it's not always a good thing. It's not always a good thing. It sounds good, right? When you hear someone say how much money they made, but it doesn't necessarily translate to you making all that money. So I don't consider that a mistake, but I can see though, we're not buying a house at a younger age because now it being so high, like your primary residence, that maybe you regret that. Because I read a stat somewhere that said 77%, right, of the people who own a home have a 50% net worth higher than someone who doesn't, right? So owning a home, guys, yes, it is you're equity rich. You're not cash rich. It's just equity. But still, when you sell that in the future, you get that money. And sometimes for some people, especially if they didn't save and invest, that is a large portion of their retirement.
This is also kind of personal, but I'm going to say it anyway. And if my children are listening, we've had this conversation, and I know you know I love you, but I have, as a single mom, I have wanted to give my children everything that I never had. I never wanted them to struggle. I never wanted them to just feel like they were doing without anything. So I have done way too much for my adult children.
Oh, yes. That everyone falls victim to that. Try to give your kids as much as possible, but man, if you're broke, you're broke. You see, if you're broke, you can't just start going to Disney and going on all these vacations if you're broke. You need to take care of yourself first because kids, man, they really don't care, right? They don't care if you live in an apartment. They don't care if they've never been to Disney. They never get traumatized. I grew up poor and I wasn't traumatized at all by it. To me, it's normal. I still feel like it's normal. I don't feel like I missed out on anything. If anything, I had way more fun because, I did a lot of things with my family, like together. We took little road trips here and there, and that was it. And I had a blast, right? But when you have kids and they're 18, they're not children anymore. They have to figure life out. You have to figure life out. You can help them out a little bit. And really, to be honest with you, this is how I'm going to be, okay? This is how I'm going to be. I'm going to tell my kids, my son's 17, he's going to college soon. You can stay here. You're not paying for anything. There's no cost with that. You can stay here while you're going to college, while you're saving all that money. You can buy yourself a car, get yourself prepared, pay for your books, get yourself prepared. That way, when you graduate college, you can be on your own, and everything is fine. Like you're good. But to baby them and to pay for this and give them money and loan them, nah. They have to figure that out. I'm not babying someone because I don't want to get to a point where, every parent goes through this. Like when you're going to retire or even if you pass away, to know they are not responsible, they don't know what to do. I don't want to be like, I don't want to have to feel like I got to take care of them for the rest of my life. I need some independent kids. And I'm teaching them that now, to be extremely independent, handle their business. None of this asking and begging and no. You handle your business. I'll be there if you need help. Okay, I'll be there if you need help, but I'm not gonna baby you. That's just not gonna happen.
The last thing that I'm going to tell you about is I made a mistake in assuming that I was going to be okay with working until I was 65 or 70, because clearly I was not. I'm now 55 and I have walked away from my corporate job and my 9-to-5 full-time career. And as I said before, I didn't plan well enough to really retire at 55, so I'm having to kind of figure out. I'm starting my real estate business, and I'm working a part-time job, and I'm doing some side hustles, and I'm still having to figure out a way to drum up enough income to be comfortable, but in ways that I can be happy with.
The good thing about her, man, that I really like about this lady is she's not quitting. She's just trying to figure things out, and she's trying different avenues. And I don't know why she quit her job so early. Maybe she just didn't like it, right? Just want to try something else. Me personally, I would have never done that. I would have remained working, especially she says she's behind financially. She made some mistakes. I would have continued working, investing. It seems like she has like a real estate type thing going on. I'm not sure. She didn't really say what she was doing, but she just said it was something to do with real estate. Do that on the side to just boost up your income because you missed out on so much in the past, and do both together. That's what I would do. But she is right though. Like, you always think you're gonna work to 65. No. You see, in her case, at least she's able to continue to work. For some people, might get a health scare or something might happen when you're not able to work, right? Even if you're married, you might be 100% healthy, but if your spouse has some type of medical issue where now you have to stay home, take care of them, or they cannot work anymore, that reduces your income as much as possible, where you need to continue working. You cannot just plan on 65, man. Plan on just tomorrow. That's the way I approach it. I approach working until tomorrow. right? Because the day I reach financial freedom, I'm working on it. I'm gonna get there soon. But the day I reach financial freedom, I'm gonna say I have an option to do certain things. And that's all I want in life. I just want the option. The option to continue working or the option not, right? It's not gonna be like, financial freedom, I quit work. No, no, no. I just want an option. Maybe I wanna work a different job. Maybe I wanna do something else. I wanna try a different business, whatever it is. I want the option. And that's the key to this all. Now, also know I said 7 financial mistakes. Yeah, she said 8. So hey, there was a bonus. Well, anyway, guys, check out her channel. It's a really interesting channel. I like her perspective on the mistakes that she made and the fact that she's just so open about it. The one thing I tell her is do not drive during these videos. That is very, 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 very dangerous. Well, anyway, guys, take the time, take the like, leave a comment, and subscribe. Catch you guys in my next video. Peace.